about how to turn your passion into a business. How to turn your passion into a business. And we tagged it from passion to profit. Basically what you love is a month of love, and because of that we are trying to blend everything that we love. We're trying to blend relationship and all of that into business, and how these things can help you do something for yourself. And so for this morning's conversation, we're going to talk about how you can turn your passion into profit. We're going to journey into the entrepreneur, the one I'm going to speak to this morning. We're going to journey into her beads business. She does beads. She uses it to make bags and all of that. Yes, and we're going to talk into the challenges, the triumphs, and some pivotal moments that shape their success story. And of course, she's also gearing up for Guinness World Records and an attempt at that. And we're also talking about that as well, just so that we can catch a glimpse of what she's doing to prepare and what that even means for every other person who is also into business. And so this morning, joining me in studio right now, she's already seated, is Juliana Garbin. And Juliana is a creative director of Jules Beads and Jules Raising Arts, where she transformed beads and raising into stunning fashion accessories and home decor. Yeah, she's a very creative person, and she started a business in 2021. She's going to tell us a whole lot about that. And she says that dedication to innovation and empowering local artisans is what continues to inspire her in the industry. This morning she's in studio. Julie, how are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing very well.
Is it fine if I call you Julie?
Oh yeah, sure. You can.
Okay. I was say Jules.
It works for me.
Any of them works, right? Okay, great. Let's get into the conversation right away.
Sure.
Yeah. What inspired you to turn your passion into a business?
Okay. So first of all, I think I would greet your listeners and also thank you for having me this morning. What actually inspired me was the feedback I was receiving from customers. The few people who actually purchased my product, the feedback was positive, and it encouraged me and inspired me to go on with this. Yeah.
Maybe just for starters, tell us about Jules Beads. Just a few minutes. Tell us about that. Then we can get into it.
Okay, so it's a brand that focuses on making bags.
Okay.
For now, bags only.
Bags only.
Yes.
Okay, with beads.
With beads, yes. We make bags with beads, and sometimes we try to incorporate other foreign materials. Actually, that's the goal. But at other times, some customers would want a bag made of only beads.
Only beads.
But with my idea, I would want to incorporate other foreign materials into the beads so that it wouldn't be 100% beads.
Right.
But then you see a plexiglass in there, a plexiglass and a bead. You see a wood and a bead. You see a cane and a bead and other stuff.
Right. You have turned your passion. It started as a passion, and now you're making a lot of money from it, right? At what point did you realize that what you love doing could actually become profitable?
I think in 2021, yes, when I started receiving those feedbacks, I noticed, so people actually love this thing, then let me focus on it and make money from there.
But how did you start?
Okay, so I started...
Tell us a story.
Sure. A friend made me start. So she told me she wanted a bag after I had already discussed with her that I knew how to make this product. And she told me she wanted a bag. But then I didn't want to do it because beading is very time consuming. And at that time, we were both working in the office. So combining the 5 to 8 and then beading, I thought it was going to be stressful for me. So I told her she should give me time. But then she waited and I wasn't forthcoming.
Right.
So she went to the market to buy some stuff. And then she bought the beads that I should make the bag for her. So it was like, at this time, you have the beads, you have the raw material, so just make the bag for me. So I did it. I did the design that she wanted. But then the size was big. She loves small bags, purses, and those stuff. So a colleague bought it.
Right.
Then she took her money. I took my workmanship from it. Then we decided to do another one for her. When we did it, another colleague at the office also saw it, and she was like, oh, she would want to have one. So I did one for her, and then after that, they started recommending me to their family and friends, and they also started placing their orders, and that's how it started.
I see. But were there moments, I mean, some defining moment that made you feel like, yes, I'm onto something very big?
Yeah, I think 2021, when the orders were
coming
overwhelming, I felt like, oh, I think I need to do this. I need to pay attention to this and do it very well. Yeah.
So how did you navigate the transition from doing it as a hobby to a full-fledged business?
It took time. It took quite some time because, as I mentioned, I used to work as a full-time, how do you call it, employee?
Yeah.
And, deciding to move from that full-time where, as for this place, no matter what, I will have my salary at the end of the month, and then venturing into something that you are not so sure. And look at something like a bag. People don't use bag almost every day. Even if I get one bag, I can use it the entire time. Right. So you are like, is this going to work? So it actually took me some time. I had to plan financially as well because, Charlie, if you don't plan and you come and it doesn't work, so I need to plan that too as well. And with time and a little progress, I got to know that, okay, I think this is the time I need to focus on making my business a full-time business, focus on expanding it and see how that also will take me. So I think in 2023, March, I resigned fully and started focusing on Jules Bees 24/7.
I see. Very interesting. So if somebody is listening to us, what you are saying is that they need to be sure that they are going to be able to make some money.
Be sure. And have some financial backing as well, because if you don't have anything to fall on and you leave the corporate to venture into whatever that you are doing and it doesn't go well, it will be very, very difficult for you to survive.
Now, what were some of the early challenges that you faced and how did you overcome them?
Okay, with the business, I think it had to do with sourcing raw materials. Because like I mentioned, I would want to make something unique. So not just the bees, but then incorporating other foreign materials. So this time, if I introduce a bag that's using, let's say, wood or canes, now the supplier who is supplying me with the cane structure can disappoint me the following month.
Right.
So if I have orders of that particular design, it means I would also have to disappoint my customers or probably fall on a different vendor or a supplier to work with. So the sourcing of the raw materials was actually a big challenge for me. And pricing as well. Pricing was also, I think somewhere in 2022 or 2023, we got up one morning and the prices of materials had increased. In fact, it had doubled. And I didn't know what to do at that point. Something that we're buying for, let's say, 20 cedis was like 40 cedis. Some were even selling it for 45 cedis. So pricing also was quite challenging at that time. Yeah.
Right. Did you ever feel like giving up?
Then when I had a full-time job, at some point I felt like maybe I should just focus on my job, and because this thing is fashion and it changes.
Right.
Yes. But now there's no going back. So no, I don't feel like giving up.
But how did you get over that thoughts? I mean, those thoughts of giving up?
I think it has to be with knowing what you actually want to do.
Right.
And focus on it. Yeah.
So if somebody's listening to us and they have a passion they want to turn into a profit, they should focus. There will be times where they will feel like giving up.
Yes,
like just like you.
Focus. You actually know what you want to achieve. You know the picture. You know your goals and everything. So just focus on your goals and set small targets for yourself. While you are achieving those little targets, you see that one day you get up and you have already achieved the bigger target that you set for yourself.
Now, how do you stay motivated when passion alone isn't enough to push through tough times? How do you stay motivated?
For me, I think it's the new designs that I introduce. and the feedback I get from customers. So at some point, I made it a point that let us by every 2 months, I'll introduce a new design so that I don't feel like what I have isn't enough for a customer to choose from. Yes, so it's the new designs that most of the time I do introduce.
And that keeps you motivated to continue to do what you're doing. Were there some skills that you had to learn in addition to your original passion? Because you had a passion for this beading, right? Were there some skills that you had to learn to be able to do what you're doing?
Yeah, I think last year I had to learn resin art.
Okay.
Because I noticed that you can actually, so I mentioned that I incorporate canes and other stuff. So I noticed that I could actually infuse the resin art also into the bags. So last year I had to go in for that and learn. And currently it's like I'm doing lots of things with that as well. I can make wall frames, keychains, and other stuff.
So that means that the passion alone is not enough. If you want to do better,
you need to learn. You need to learn. You need to train yourself as well.
You need to train yourself and learn. Now, how do you differentiate between an interest, a fleeting interest, and actually a passion that is worth pursuing as a business? How do you differentiate between it? Because, you know, everybody can get something interested interested in something at a point in time in their life. How do you differentiate between this is something that I'm just enjoying for this time and this is something I could actually pursue? How do you tell the difference?
I think the difference will also be based on probably the feedback that you are receiving from those around you. Because if you are interested in the things, most of the time you could be interested, but even you yourself, you can't see it as something you can pursue to even get money from it. Yes. So if those around you also motivate you, you can also get the idea that even though it's an interest, I can pursue it further and make some money from it.
But do you have some other interests, you personally? Do you have some other interests that you think these ones are not for business, but the beading is what I want
everything, for me, everything is about business.
Everything's about business. So everything about you try to turn into business. What other things have you turned into business?
Acting. Actually, I'm a theater arts. I read theater arts in the uni.
Oh, really?
Yes, because
University
I loved
of Ghana,
it when I was a kid, so I decided to pursue it.
University of Ghana?
No.
Oh, okay.
University of Cape Coast.
Right. I also read theater arts.
Oh,
yes.
Fellow thespian.
Exactly, right? Reading all the Shakespeare and
that's it.
Oedipus Rex and those books and all.
So when I know I'm interested in something, I would have to find ways and means of turning it into a business as well.
Well, it's we are just about 5 minutes to 9, and this morning we're having a conversation with Juliana Garbing. She's a creative director at Jeweled Beads. And this morning we're talking how you can turn what you love into a thriving business. A lot of us have passions, but as to whether we are able to make something out of it is something that many of us are not exploring. And so that is why this conversation is very important. You can join the conversation over our WhatsApp line. Send your text, send your questions, your thoughts to 0544 321019 0544 321019 0544 321019. We are actually also on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH. Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH. We are live on our YouTube platform at Z Multimedia. Z Multimedia. You can as well follow us on TikTok at Z Multimedia or visit www.zmultimedia.com. And you can share the link as well to other people so that they can get to hear something that will transform their lives. Now, let me come back to you, Julie. What strategies helped you to scale your business from the initial idea to where it is today?
I think I'll say social media, posting engaging content. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, the unique products that I introduced. Yes, those are the strategies that I used.
So you decided to introduce more new things,
more new stuff,
and that's helped you to scale your business.
Yes,
and I think you're learning the resin arts also played a role in there, right? Okay, now how important is personal? Because you mentioned social media. How important is personal branding when growing a business rooted in passion?
It's very, very important because most of the time people will associate you with the brand. So the two go hand in hand. You have to also brand yourself very well. And as someone, for me, almost all the time, I'm one person who didn't like beaded bags at first. Yes, I didn't like it at all. I think it was because of the designs I used to see back then. I wouldn't say they were not so nice, but maybe they didn't appeal to my sense of fashion.
Right.
So I didn't like them. But then when I started, I noticed that no, because people are associating my brand with me, I need to use them. So now everywhere I go, whether I want it or not, I try my best to go with my brand. Yes. So you have to brand yourself very well so that the moment people will see you, they will know that, oh, this is the person behind this brand. Yeah.
Right. So that is also focused on what you're posting on social media.
What you're posting on social media, yes, what you're wearing and all of that.
Okay, still on social media, maybe you can go a bit more into details. What role does social media play in promoting a business?
It gives you visibility because if you are just located at, let me say, American House, and you're not on social media, it means only people who uses that stretch can see your product and purchase from you. But then when you're on social media, you get that visibility that you want. And not just people in your country, people outside your country can also purchase from you. So social media gives you the visibility if you're able to utilize it very well. It gives you the visibility that your brand will need to penetrate international markets as well.
Right. But do you manage your own social media, or you have people you've paid to be doing
For
that?
now, I am doing it.
You are doing it. So anybody that is listening to us this morning can start something and they manage their own business.
Oh, yes, you can. You can. When I started initially, so before I started, when my friend told me to start, I told her I don't know anyone in Accra who would want to buy from me. And my friend said, no, you can post them on social media. And at that time, my smartphone was faulty, so I was using a young phone. So when I make the bag, she will hold it, pose and take nice pictures and help me post them on. She actually showed me how to post, especially on Instagram and then the reels. I owe her a lot, Mrs. Anita Wuku.
Okay.
I owe her a lot. So she did a lot of stuff for me. I didn't know how to, because I didn't know I could actually leverage social media to get to where I am now. Yeah.
So maybe you're tuned in right now. There's Mrs. Anita Wuku in your life who will help you. Oh, is also telling you
yes,
that
everyone needs that. Mrs. Anita Wuku.
Telling you that start it, do this business, you can turn it into something huge. So please look out for those people. They are the people you have to keep around you. And there's always somebody like that in your life.
Yes.
Now, how do you maintain quality as your business expands?
Okay, so maintaining quality, I think it has to do with where you're sourcing the materials from. You know, most of the time when people start, they do it very well. But at some point when they notice that they are getting their money, and then they start, reducing the quality and all of that. So you have to maintain it. If you're sourcing from this place and you know this is of high quality, and we know, we the bidders, when we are buying something and it's not of good quality, we know this is a no-no. So sometimes when a customer sends a design to me that's, can you make this for me? And I see the picture and I notice that if I use this kind of beads, the bag is going to fade. I tell the person, please, with this, the bag will fade in probably a period of 1 year or two. And a beaded bag shouldn't fade.
Oh, really?
So if you insist that you don't mind, then I go ahead and do it for you. If not, I wouldn't want to use it at all.
Right.
So it has to do with where you're sourcing the materials from. You have to stick to the quality that you introduce right from the onset.
I see. So how do you balance? I want you to tell me, how do you balance creativity? Because you are creative, you know the ideas, the things that you want to do and all of that. How do you balance creativity with the business side of things? So finance, marketing, operations, and all of that. How do you balance all of that?
I think it's an act. I think that too is an act. So even though you are creative, you're being creative about it, but you also have to know that this is what is bringing food on your table and this is what you're making money from. So you have to set aside, have a good plan, know which money is going into what. Plan very well, and you have to also prioritize and know that, no, for this funds that I am receiving, it's going into raw materials. This is my profits. This is, and when we are pricing stuff, for me, I don't know for other bidders, for me, when I'm pricing stuff, I do that based on the time I'm also spending, and then my level of creativity on that product as well. So the customer is paying for that.
Right.
Yes. So you can't just price it that, oh, this is just a beaded bag. So no, some creative act has gone into it. So you have to factor that into the pricing as well. And when you get the money, you deduct it from it and put it somewhere. Yeah.
So did you have to take some courses in managing finance, social media management, marketing?
Honestly, before I didn't take any course. I think I learned on the job. But currently, I'm reading a course on that. So I'm at Accra Business School. I'm reading communication and international marketing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the goal, is to incorporate that into your business.
Into my business.
And expand
and
it.
expand as
Because
well.
we are learning international marketing. It means that you want
to go
reach the
international.
That's
That's
very
it.
strategic. I like it. Now, but how do you stay ahead of the trends and maintain a competitive edge in your industry?
Okay, so I think for me, how I actually do that is the designs, like I said, the new designs I introduce. And most of the time, you see, customers would want to bring designs from other artists for you to do it. And it's between you and your vision, whether you would want to proceed or you still stick to whatever you want to do or you want to project as a brand. So most of the time, it's just the new designs that I introduce. Almost every time, I want to stay ahead. I want to be the one to bring new designs into the market so that others can be inspired by it. Yes.
I see. But what's your approach to handling customers' feedback, whether positive or negative? How do you handle that?
Oh, I try my best to handle it very well. Where I know I went wrong, I do my best to apologize. Feedbacks are very, very important. You cannot expand as a brand if you don't like feedbacks. So whether positive and negative, and most of the time I want the negatives because those are the feedbacks that will help me improve and be a better person, and then also help my brand to improve. So I would rather prefer the negative feedback to the positive. Because for the positive, oh, I like the bag and it's very nice. Okay, that's normal. I've been receiving it most of the time. But for the negative, once in a while, so it's that, oh, okay, so this thing, I should have done it this way or that way. Yeah.
Right. So you need to make sure that you're taking the feedback in good faith.
In good faith, yes, and you're working on it. And where you need to apologize to the customer, you have to.
And you said feedbacks are very, very important.
Very, very, very important. Because if a customer is not satisfied, the customer can let you lose about 20, 30 customers that you may not know. Because assuming the customer is in a very good organization, and let's say someone is just surfing the internet, the person comes across your page and the person, oh, Jules Bees. And that unsatisfied customer will just pass a comment, oh, don't mind that one. I bought a bag from her and it wasn't nice and I spoke to her and, all sort of things. And that could deter the other person from buying from you. And you don't know the number of people that person can also influence. Yeah.
And word of mouth travels.
It does.
So this will tell another person, one tells another, and then
before you realize your business is already down.
I see. So how do you manage the pressure? I know there's pressure to constantly innovate. And I know one thing that is constant in business is change. Yeah. Definitely you need to be changing to the times and all of that. How do you manage the pressure to do that without losing the core essence of your brand?
How do I even manage the pressure? So I think most of the time I try to, satisfy the customer and also stay ahead of whatever I would want to do. So even though the vision is to probably produce a new bag or a new design in a month or two, when I have overwhelming orders, I just call in people to assist so that if I'm working on a new design that I have to introduce within few days, I can complete that. So I get people to assist me. Yeah.
And that's how you're able to do that.
That's how I'm able
because
to do it.
I know one thing, people will not like the same bags, all the time.
Oh,
they
yes.
want to be seeing some new things.
Some new
and
things.
So there's
yeah.
pressure on you, isn't it?
There is.
There's pressure.
And the interesting thing is sometimes you may introduce a design today and people will not start purchasing that design until after like 6, 7, 8 months. As I'm talking to you now, people I think the orders I did most of last month were designs I made in 2021. You will not believe it. Yes. So customers are unpredictable. So when the demands are coming and you also think you should introduce a new design, then you let someone assist with the other orders, then you focus on introducing the new designs. If not, you just focus on that because after all, that is what the customers are purchasing at this point in time. So let me just focus on it and deliver.
And deliver. I see. But have you faced any major setback in the business and how did you bounce back? Because I know that people go into business thinking, oh, this is going to be smooth. But then they get hit by something huge and then they have to now bounce back. And usually it's difficult for them. Have you ever faced anything like that?
For this industry, no. I wouldn't want to say not yet because I don't want to experience it. Because one thing about bags is, even if you make them in bulk and nobody purchases them, it is not a perishable good. You can keep it for as long as you want, no matter what people will purchase. So for this industry, no. No. I think the only setback, it is not even a setback, probably a challenge, is when I introduced this 50% payment before and after. You see, for those of us who sell online, sometimes the customer doesn't trust you. The customer thinks you can scam him or her. I also think you can scam me. Yes, so we both don't trust. So when we do the 50-50, sometimes you can deliver the bag and the customer will refuse to pay the balance. Oh yes, I've faced that a lot, even with guys.
That's interesting.
Like, oh, oh, really? So at some point I had to let go. So yeah, that's the only challenge. But for now, it's 100% payment. Then you receive your bag. You don't trust me, I also don't trust you.
Right, but do you think that these challenges, these business setbacks are bound to happen in every business? And how would you advise somebody to be able to navigate those moments?
Oh yeah, they are bound to happen. Once you are selling online, they are about to happen. But I think it all has to do with trust and how you brand yourself. And once in a while to try and then post the feedback that you receive from other customers, the positive ones. I think when the person sees it, the person will know that you're actually genuine. And I think for now, there are some checks that you can do on an account on social media to verify whether the account is genuine or not. So for a customer, if you are buying from someone online, I think you have to go through all these checks to see the comments from other people to verify the account before you proceed.
I see. So how do you decide when it's time to expand the business or when it's time to pivot?
How do you decide? I think it has to do with the timing. When you say that you are actually getting lots of engagement on your social media, for those of us who sell social media, when you say that, okay, I'm getting a lot of engagement this time, so this will actually be a good time for me to expand, a good time for me to introduce something new, a good time for me to go this way or that way. So you have to study the trend and then know whether I'm actually getting more engagement this time. And I think for now on social media, you can actually see the insights. You have an insight there. You will see how your reels and pictures and all of those things are performing on the platform. So you can use that to, determine whether it's a good time or not for you to expand. Yeah.
So is the business growing? Your business, is it growing? How do you determine if the business is growing apart from the financial bit of it? Because if the money is coming, it is growing.
It is growing.
Which other ways?
I think the feedback and then the following you have. The feedback and then the following you have.
You have like about 29K, 28K?
Yeah.
on social media.
Yes.
So that means that the business is growing. Where did you start from? Zero?
Zero.
You know there are people who buy their accounts.
Oh no, I didn't buy zero. I started from zero. And between 2021, I think I had more following in 2021 to 2022. I hit 10K. I was even surprised. It was just one reel. And that's how I posted. Yes. It was just one reel, and I had that engagement. So throughout that period, I was introducing more designs. I was posting more because I noticed that I was getting the engagement. So I capitalized on that to also gain the money as well. Yes. And between, I think, 2022, 2023, that period, even though I was getting the money, I wasn't getting following. In fact, I could wake up one morning and my followers had reduced instead of increasing. I was like, what is happening? But then I was getting the money and I was doing all that I could to ensure that I gained the following, but I wasn't gaining. So that was the period I also decided to utilize TikTok, because initially I wasn't on TikTok. I was just on Facebook and Instagram. So that was the period I had to switch to TikTok and see how the business will perform also over there. Then between 2023, 2024, it started picking up, and now we are at 29.
I see. So it's been how many years? 21 to
2025.
So basically
almost
4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Wow, and you're hitting over 29. I mean, almost 29K people followers. If that's just on Instagram.
My goal was to hit 30K before 31st December, but it didn't work.
Wow. So you actually even set targets for that? Oh, yeah.
So I set targets. And then I plan on what to post. If I'm doing reels this week, or I'm just doing pictures this week, or both. So I plan. And for social media, sometimes we get to know the songs that are trending. So when you get to know that a song is trending, just hop on it.
Right. So for somebody listening to us now, social media can be the game changer for them.
Oh, yes. It has worked for me. It can work for you too.
So reels,
pictures,
TikTok,
anything, stories. And sometimes, you have to add a little bit of fooling, because you can't always be posting pictures and of your product, even though that's the idea. Sometimes people would want to see the person behind the brand. So sometimes you have to also post yourself holding the bag and all of that. It has not been easy, but we'll get there.
That's very interesting. So what can you do if you don't want to put yourself out there in the business? Because you talk about the human touch that people are looking for these days. So if I don't want to, maybe I don't like to be out there, what do I do?
Then you can get someone. You can pay someone. We have a lot of influencers, so you can get them to do it for you.
Okay. All right.
Because no matter what, there should be someone behind the brand.
I see. So what's the process? What's your process for setting and achieving the goals? Because you said you have targets and all of that. What's the process?
So I plan. I draw my target. I have quarterly. So at the beginning of the year, we set the yearly. We break it down to bi-yearly and then quarterly. Then we come to weekly. So I know that this week I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Before the others come in, you know what you're posting, you're going to post. So sometimes I can take pictures like today and post it like next month. Yes. I will not post the pictures. Sometimes the customer will even receive the bag, use it for some time before I post the picture of the bag, because I had planned. I know that I am posting this or that tomorrow. I am posting this next week. I'm doing a reel, or I'm not posting anything at all. Or this week, I'm just posting my story. It got to a time I also noticed that people were actually viewing my stories than the post itself. So I was just posting on my stories. On Instagram, it was just stories, yes. So you have to plan.
That means you have to monitor the...
Oh, you have to monitor. You have to monitor. If you really want to, if you don't have a physical, even if you have a physical shop, these days, it's all about social media. You have to monitor.
And how do you build a good relationship with your customers, your suppliers, or even those that are collaborating with you? How do you build a good relationship?
For customers,
not even just building, but also maintaining, yes. That's a difficult part.
For customers, I think it has to do with responding to whatever comments they post. And then once in a while, I send a blast. So I send them SMS for them to know that I am thinking about them, so they should also think about me and purchase my product. So once in a while, I do that. For my suppliers, anytime I go to town, even if I don't go to town, once in a while, I do check up on them for them to know that, hey, I'm still around. I've not forgotten about you. When I need you, I'll come and buy your product. So let me know when you have new stuff. Yeah. So I do check up on those people to maintain our relationship.
I see. But now, with what you're doing with the beads, I think it helps with the climate change issue. Is that something you're also paying attention to?
We have it in our plans, but
right.
For now, no.
For now, no. Okay, that's great. Now, let's talk a bit about let's talk about making impact even beyond business. All right. A lot of people get into business and their goal is simply to make money. But I believe that in today's world, it should go beyond just making money.
That's true.
All right. And so how do you ensure that your work stays meaningful beyond just making profits?
Okay, so before either before or in the process or at the time that my business started expanding, I targeted some people in the society that I could train so that I can also, if not work with them, others can work with them and then tap into their knowledge or whatever they possess. Yes. So I do train people, but I would want to train lots of people. But if I am training them for free, at least we should have someone paying for the bees as well. Yes. But that is what we are trying to work on at the moment. But once in a while, I do train some people so that at least they can also get something from me for free. And if I have more orders, if I'm overwhelmed with orders, these are the people I work with, and I pay them as well because they are spending their time on the work or the product or whatever they are doing, so they should get money from it, so that next time when you call them, it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to waste my time. They will know that at least they're also going to get something from it to buy one or two things that they will need. So that's a little impact that you're also making.
So as you've identified your passion and you're using that to make you're making some money out of it, you should also be thinking about impact.
Impact, yes.
So how many people have you been able to train so far?
About 6 for free. Yes, for free, about 6.
Wow.
But those that have paid quite a lot, and some are even foreigners. Sometimes we do online. On
you
Zoom.
can train online as well?
Yes, for those who are outside. Page? I don't have, but if it's online, we do either Zoom, Teams, or sometimes WhatsApp.
Okay, so people can contact you and learn
if you want to learn and you're not in Ghana.
Right. But do you think that's your most rewarding impact, on others, training the people?
Yes, because I think we all know that if you fish for a man, the person will get the fish that he or she is going to consume for that particular day. But then if you teach the person how to fish, then the person can just go to the sea and fish every time and every day. So I will teach you. I also show you where to get the raw materials in case. So most of the time, some of these people come back, oh, I've gotten an order. How much do you think I should charge? Then I will train the person on how to price the bag and all of that. So yeah.
Wow.
It is.
I see. But have you had moments where your business positively changed someone's life? Like, the people you've trained, have they come back with some very positive feedback?
Oh, yes. Lots of them have started their own business. Yes. And they are also making good money.
But how does that make you feel?
Very, very good.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes.
Because usually, people would not like to teach other people because...
For them to make... oh, come on. I cannot make bags for... not even everyone in Accra. Because the market is big. It's wide. So we should get... that is why we do organized training. So if I'm training you and at the end of the day, you cannot make a business out of it, then I've not made an impact. Yeah, so... the excitement and the joy is when you are able. So even me, sometimes I get annoyed if I train you and you go and sit down and you do nothing. Like, so why did you come for the training if you're going to do nothing with it? I love it when people are able to come out, set up their own business, and sometimes these guys, I have lots of them. They do come back. I make the tax for them. I help them get their tax because they want to also brand their products very well. So I assist them with all of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when I have others overflowing, I push some to them as well because I know I train them, so I know they can do their work very well.
Wow. But personally, have you employed some people?
Oh yes.
But you started. But they are not, you started just yourself.
Yes. So but they are not permanent. I have about 3 who are on standby. So whenever it gets overwhelming, I just call on them. So I will deliver the materials to them through a dispatch, and when they are done, they also send it to me. Then I do the final touches and deliver to the customer.
So what do you have to tell somebody who is listening and the person is saying that I need people before I can start?
Oh no, you can. Once you can do it, unless you don't have the skill. If you don't have the skill, it is different, because I know these days some people can open a salon, a barbering salon, but they are not barbers, so they do employ people. That is fine if you don't have the skill. But once you have the skill, you can start on your own.
Once you have the skill, you can start on your own. Don't wait
to just employ someone. Yes,
just start
and whatever you have.
And this conversation is very important for somebody, specifically somebody, because if you follow the whole show, it's been about starting. And personally, I'm going to start very soon. The next month.
What are you starting?
I'm starting a fashion business, actually.
Oh, okay. Ladies or guys?
Oh, no, guys. Maybe eventually we'll look at ladies, yeah. But I'm starting a fashion.
Add ladies so that I can come around and grab a
well, sure. I'll think. Well, you can buy for somebody. I mean, your boyfriend.
Pardon?
Okay, let's move on. All right. So, how do you define success? And do you think that it has evolved? The definition has evolved over time.
For me, my definition hasn't evolved over time. I don't know about others because success is relative. What I may define as success, you may not define as success. So for me, it is when I'm getting the engagement, when I actually hit my target. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
When I hit my target, either with finances, engagement, and then impact.
Wow. And what kind of legacy do you wish to create with your work?
Oh, so I want to be remembered as the only fashionable beaded brand globally and locally.
That's the kind of impact you want, legacy you want to leave.
Yes.
All right. Now, how do you balance the desire to make an impact with the realities of running the business sustainably?
I think it has to do with prioritizing. Like I mentioned before, balancing is an act. Even the Bible has said that a false balance is an abomination. Yes. Right. So you need to make an impact, and you also have to focus on satisfying your customers. But at that particular moment, which of them is more important? Is it satisfying the customer or making the impact? And when you plan, when you prioritize, it will help you plan, and then you'll be able to balance the two and know which one to do and at what point.
Now, how does your business reflect your personal values?
Okay, for me, I love simple stuff.
Right.
And I think someone says simplicity is elegance. I love simple stuff. So I think most of my bags, they're not too complicated. You don't see so much stuff going on. It's just simple, but it's elegant. It's simple but nice and of high quality. Those are the things that I love. So they do reflect on my product as well.
Permitting to take you back to the impact you're already making, do you think you want to expand to reaching more people?
Oh, yes.
And free training,
yes.
I mean.
Yes. I would want to. I would wish I could even get a big factory, get all these guys on board, all those who would want to learn, take them for free, let them work and pay them. Yes. So I would love to. I would love to.
But are you aware there are some government fundings for businesses? Have you accessed any of them?
No, I haven't.
Okay, but you look forward to? Is that something? Because I know government seeks to expand, train more people in diverse. Yeah, I think this current administration wants to do something like that. They have a particular national apprenticeship program. You may want to check it out.
Okay.
Yes, and the focus is to get people to learn certain skills that they can start businesses with, and to maybe if you can look into that and then apply and then maybe you can train some more people in line with that. Now, but let's talk about how you inspire your team or those around you to stay passionate about their work. How do you do that?
So I let them know the vision, our vision, and then what we want to give to customers. So as I'm giving you the materials to make the product, I let you know that this is what we've been delivering. And also, when you actually make the bag and it doesn't meet the standard I have set, it doesn't meet the standard that I have set or we have set, you will do it again.
Right.
So I'll let you start from scratch, or where I think you didn't work on very well, you'd have to remove everything and do it again. So with that in mind, they know they have to deliver. Yeah.
Right, and that keeps them
being creative and.
Now we're going to talk a bit about your Guinness World Record thing very soon. Yeah, we'll get into that very soon. But let's say there's somebody listening to us now, and they are thinking that I have to go and get a business plan and all of that. Did you start with a business plan?
No, I didn't start with a business plan.
You didn't start with a business. So how did you start the business, and how is it going?
I've already told you how I started. It was a friend that motivated me to start, and since then it's been learning on the job. I don't know, maybe after our attempt we will try and work on a business plan. Maybe, but for now we don't have a business plan.
For 4 years, if you're running a business without a business plan, you are making progress. What do you think is making you is giving you that progress? Is it the discipline,
focus, commitment?
Talk a bit about them.
So
how they impact businesses.
Yeah. So if you're not committed to something, you see, for something like this, you have to be committed and be consistent. If you're not committed and consistent, so probably you make a bag today, and someone wants to purchase, you're like, oh, I'm not taking any order, and for a month or two, you're still not taking order. Maybe you're also not doing anything. You are just there. No, you have to be consistent. So you have to push the orders. You have to get people to actually order. So you engage them, you post stuff that will make them interested in placing an order, interested in getting your product and all of that. And you stay committed to the goal. If you're not committed and if you're not so focused, probably you're doing bags today, beaded bags today. Tomorrow you will see someone selling shoes, and the person can tell you that, oh, Charlie, I'm selling shoes and I'm making money from it. Then you switch. It means you yourself, you've lost focus. You don't know what you want to do. So you have to stay focused to whatever that you want to do and stay committed and be consistent.
Stay focused, committed, and consistent. Well, it's 9:30, and this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Trebi Hammond. And this morning, we're having a conversation with Juliana Garbin, who is the creative director for Jules Beats. And we're talking about how to turn your passion into profit. And we're getting into the conversation. We're speaking extensively about that. When we return, we're going to take a short break, a music break. When we return, we'll get into a world record, Guinness World Record attempt, and what that means for businesses and all of that. You may want to stay with us and then enjoy that. Please enjoy this music. We'll be right back.
All lovers to feel the love this Valentine with Love A to Z on ZFM.
We're bringing love to life in every way, whether it's a grand gesture or a simple story.
Share your love moments with us, dedicate your favorite songs, and win amazing prizes along the way.
Tune in to Love A to Z on ZFM 101.9.
From Wednesday the 29th of January to Friday February 14th, you'll have the chance of winning amazing prizes from interactions on all our social media channels.
From BBZ to the brighter side with NYA the brand, and all the way to Highway 1019.
This Valentine, we'll make it every day a day to remember. Tune in, feel the love, and let us make your celebration unforgettable.
lifestyle lurcher and business radio.
Well, welcome back to Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM. Thank you very much for staying with us. This morning, we're having a conversation with Juliana Garbin. And Juliana Garbin is a creative director for Jude's Beats. Is it creative director? Yes. for Jules Beats, and she's sharing with us how you can turn your passion into profit. She just loved beads. She just loved she just loved working with beads. And today she quit her job for that, and she's making a lot of money. In just 4 years, she has over 28 or 29,000 followers on just Instagram, and she built from the scratch, from 0 followers. She's telling us how she's done it over the period of time. And so far, we've spoken about what inspired her to turn her passion into business. She said she had just one person, Mrs. Ewuku, Angela. Is it Angela? Anita Ewuku, and that woman inspired her to just get started. And she's doing a lot of she's doing a lot of stuff today. You might have somebody like that in your life who is also encouraging you that go ahead, start that business, get things moving, and that person could be the one that will propel you to do better in life, financially, because of her business. And then she's speaking about giving up. She said that at a point she felt like giving up, but she kept moving, and today the results show for itself. She also talked about how she transitioned from quitting her job, and at what point she decided to quit finally because she felt like a lot of money was coming through. She also spoke about how her personal growth has influenced the growth of the business. She's been learning and training and making sure that she stays on the edge to be able to keep the business moving. And also she's speaking about how to differentiate between just your interest and your passion. If you just tuned in, you might want to go and check YouTube. The video will be there. Just go and play back. She shared a lot of value with us this morning, how you can differentiate between the fleeting interest and a passion that is actually worth pursuing as a business. She's also speaking about how you can manage the pressure to constantly innovate, and also how you can scale up your business. And she said social media is a game changer for her. One reel alone actually brought a lot of followers. When she started, she wasn't getting the numbers, but just one reel has gotten her a lot of followers. And she's also speaking about how finance, learning some finance, some marketing can help the business grow. And another thing she mentioned was also that she did it by herself. She started by herself. She didn't have anybody who was helping. But gradually, she's been able to train people, even for free. She's been able to train a lot of people financially, both locally and globally, who are all into the business. And she's embarking on a Guinness World Record attempt. And that is the largest bead sculpture. Yeah, that category. Is it? Julie, let's talk about that a bit. But before that, you can join the conversation via WhatsApp, or you can as well call us and share your thoughts. Maybe you have a question to ask her for her to throw some more light onto. You may want to phone into the conversation. 0544 32 1019 0544 32 1019 0544 32 1019. You can as well call on 030 3956 0303956 or you can check us on social media. Drop a comment under our post on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH. Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH. And we are live on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Our TikTok is also Z Multimedia. Any of these platforms, you can get into the conversation. Julie, let's get back into our conversation. Now, you decided to go into the Guinness World Records. Is the category something that was already existing? Largest bead sculpture. Is this something that was existing already, or you decided to create it?
No, it's not existing. So I applied for that. Initially, I applied to set a record for longest beading hours. Okay. So that it will be the ton.
All right. So what would have been the name? Beadathon.
Beadathon, yes. But it was declined.
Why?
It was rejected. And I am so happy it was rejected. The reason was that for something like bees, they would want a sculpture. So something tangible, something you can hold.
Right.
Even though the Beadathon, I was going to make lots of designs because that was my idea. I wanted to make lots of designs so that people would see how creative Africans are, especially Ghanaians. But since they rejected it and they proposed the sculpture, I had to, change my plan and look into it and see if that works for me. And it works. And in fact, I preferred that to my initial choice. So I'm glad they rejected that one. So with this, there is none.
I see.
So we are not going to break anyone's record. We are setting the record.
Amazing.
If after hours you want to make yours, then you have to rely on hours for the guidelines.
Right.
So the benchmark the Guinness World Record team has given us is 6-meter dimension. That means ours should surpass 6 meter. So we are looking at doing either 7 meter, or if we have much strength, we can go 7.5 meter dimension.
Right. We're going to talk a bit about how long you think that will take you to make, all right? But just what inspired the move, this bold move?
The desire to show an African artistry to the world, to be on a global stage. Yes. So it's not just about Ghana, it's about Africa. So we are going beyond Ghana.
So at what point do you think that, let me just go for this Guinness World Record thing? At what point?
Okay, so I think at a point after Hilda's own, because I didn't know much about it. Yes, Hilda Bassi's own. I didn't know much about it. Initially, I thought that for your name to appear in the Guinness Book of Records, you had to do something extra. So we will be there like footballers. So we'll be there and they will be like, Ronaldo is the first person to score about 1,500 goals. And Ronaldo didn't apply for anything, but it just happened. So then they recognize him. That was what I thought.
Right.
I didn't know you have to apply. So it was after Hilda's own that I got interested. I was like, okay, this could be a platform to actually promote African artistry. So let me go onto their page and read more. So I read more and I noticed, okay, there is nothing. I think the only thing I saw about bead was a beaded necklace, long beaded necklace, and kind of mosaic or something like that. So there was nothing like a sculpture or bags. So I applied, and because it's a new record, you actually have to pay. So
you have to pay?
Yes. So I pay, but it's not much. I pay $5. I paid $5 for that, and the approval for that was received in November 2023. So 2024, we used the whole year to plan, know how to go about it. In 2024, we did a prototype because per our rules, we are supposed to send the design to them for an approval as well. So we did a prototype, and that informed us of the number of packs of beads that we will need for the actual project, and also the hours we should be looking at.
Okay. So what has the preparation been like, and what are some of the lessons you've learned from it?
For the preparations, it's been a roller coaster. And I've learned that people can be excited about something but may not be ready to give, either in cash or in kind, to support whatever that's. Because when I mentioned, I remember, so I started actually telling some of my family and friends in December 2023 when I noticed that, okay, I'm going to do this. And the feedback was overwhelming. Like, lots of people, I'm in. When the time is up, let me know. But now the time is up and they're not seeing anything. Some of them, yes, they have fulfilled their promise, but others, we are not seeing anything. So lots of people can be excited about an idea, about a project, about a business, but then when it's time for them to come forth and then deliver, they pull back. That's one thing that I have learned from this, particularly from this project.
Yes. So do you regret wanting to go for that?
Regret? No, we are not getting started.
But people have encouraged you, and they've sort of left you along there.
I'm hopeful.
Okay.
I don't regret at all. We are doing this. We are doing this in March. Once I have gotten a venue, Ocean Green Beach at Pram has sponsored. They've taken care of our accommodation. So we are looking at 10 days, and we are going to stay there for 10 days for free. That should tell you that, Charlie, it is doable. It is doable. So if I've gotten a venue and accommodation for my bidders and other crew members, there's no backing out. Right. We are all in.
Right. What date are we looking at? 1st
to 10th March.
Oh, okay.
So barely a month away.
Right. Well, you do fine. Don't worry.
We are
But
fine.
What mindset shift did you have to make to actually pursue something as ambitious as a Guinness World Record? Guinness
Okay, I
World
think
Record.
the desire to penetrate the international markets, even though some few people from the diaspora, they know my products. People from, I think, few from US, UK, they've been buying from me. They know my product, but then we want to go global. So I was like, okay, this will be a big opportunity for not just my brand, but bidders as well.
Right.
Because if probably I'm getting lots of orders and it's something, I don't have the labor force or the people to help, I could push some to other brands that I think are doing very well. So it is not just for my brand, but all bidders. Everyone who is in the bid industry.
Right. You want to put them on a global
We are putting
market.
ourselves there.
Now, how do you handle the pressure and expectations? I know a lot of pressure is on you right now,
Yeah.
trying to put things together and expectations from other people and all of that. How do you handle that? Those expectations. I mean, that come with in this setting this huge goal.
Yeah, so I've actually learned to, be let people know what goes into it, because once you put, especially I remember the Tuesday that we released our first flyer, I had a lot of calls, lot of messages, and a whole lot. People would want to find out. So I do my best to let people know what goes into it, and the fact that I am not going to do it alone.
Right.
I'm doing it with other bidders. We are 10.
Oh, okay.
We are 10. So it's not something that I am
You are
going to do it. So
alone.
I think for now, what I am handling is probably the other aspect of it until we begin.
Okay.
Yes. So there's not so much pressure on me for now. Yes.
So you decided to put your foot forward, and then you called other bidders.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Are they people that you trained?
Yes, some are people that I have trained. Some are friends, bidders that I know. I told you it's not just about Ghana, it's about Africa.
Right.
Yes, so I have some of my team members from Uganda, some from Cote d'Ivoire.
Wow.
I'm looking at getting a Nigerian on board.
Right.
We've started a conversation around it, but it's not yet confirmed. Once it's confirmed, we'll let the public know. So it's not just about Ghana, even though most of us are Ghanaians, and they are people I have trained.
Wow, that's good. But do you think taking such a bold risk is important or is essential for business growth?
Oh yes, deciding to even stay alive today is a risk. Yes, life is all about risk.
Right.
And I think it's very, very essential. What if it doesn't go well? I tell that person, it will go well.
Okay.
Because I mentioned earlier that this is a sculpture. It is not a marathon attempt.
Right.
For the marathon, you are limited with the time of rest. I think every 1 hour you have 5 minutes of rest. For this, we can even decide that, okay, throughout the 10 days, we will sleep for 9 days and work for 24 hours continuous. That is probably our strategy. However we want to go about it. All the Guinness World Record team is looking out for is a video as a proof that we started making this from start to finish. Yeah, so however we would want to do it depends on us. We can decide to rest for 12 hours, work for 12 hours. We can decide to rest for 16 hours and work for probably just 4 hours. We just need to ensure that we deliver. And we have proof that we actually did it from start to finish.
Right.
So we will achieve it.
You will achieve it, yes. I wish you well. I hope that you will.
Thank you.
And I know you will. Yeah, but what messages are you hoping to send to other entrepreneurs through this achievement?
I think they should take risks. Yes, even though it's difficult at some point, but then sometimes learn to take a risk. When you see an opportunity, hop onto it. Take risk, hop onto any opportunity that may come your way, and you may not know how it will turn out. It can be good, it can be bad. When it's good for you. It can push your business. When it's bad, it's also good for you because you will learn from it. The experiences are also very, very good. So you will learn from it and know that, okay, this is bad. Maybe it's because I did it this way or that way. Let me re-strategize and do it in the proper way. So in any case, take risk.
Wow. In any case, take risk. We're trying to wrap up. We have just about 5 minutes to go.
Okay.
Yes. You know, 10 o'clock came actually. Yeah. We have just about 5 minutes. No, to wrap up, and then I give my final closing remarks, then we can go off. But now let's talk a bit about so I wish you well in your Guinness Book of Records attempts. Do you have a call to some supporters or something?
Yes.
I take your final thoughts.
We need sponsorship. And before that, let me thank our sponsors so far. So we have Ocean Green Beach, the accommodation. We have Express Medical Health. They are going to ensure that we have some medical professionals on board. We have Maroni. Maroni made our T-shirts for us. And then we have 1429 Foods and Events. They are also supporting us with breakfast. Yes, and all individuals who have supported us so far. But then we need financial assistance. We really, really, really need financial assistance. Yes, so if you're out there and you think you can support us, and the vendors too, if you would want to be on board and then probably sell a thing or two during the attempt, please contact us.
Okay, all right. So contact them. You put out your social media details later. It's Jules Bees on Instagram, isn't it?
Yes, Jules_Beat.
Okay.
And Jules Bees on Facebook.
So you can reach out to them and support them. Okay, so let me just take these final questions, and then what advice would you give to someone who feels passionate about something and they want to turn it into a business?
Just start. I think you should just start. If you're passionate about it and you want to turn it into business, just start, regardless of the resources that you may have at that point. Start with whatever that you have. Just start, but don't be in a rush. Probably you are in a full-time job and then you're also passionate about that thing. Don't be in a rush to leave your full-time job. Just take your time, start, do both, and then at some point when you feel like, okay, I think this is the time, I think you yourself, you will know that at this point, I think I can leave my corporate and focus on my personal work. Yeah.
And what's one common myth about entrepreneurship you would like to debunk?
A myth that we are so rich, please.
Well, entrepreneurs are not
please, rich. We are, but not so like you just projected me right there. When I leave here, someone will send me a DM. They are rich, but yeah. And I think of late, what I have been seeing on social media is when someone posts or probably comments about how he or she started, like probably I started with 5 Ghana cedis. Probably the person has a bank and the person says, oh, with my bank, I started with 5 Ghana cedis. Oh, you are lying and all. It could be true. Are you the person? You're not the person. The person is not you. The person is saying he or she started with 5 Ghana cedis. In my case, I didn't even start with my own money. It was Anita who bought the raw materials with her own money.
Wow.
Then I made it, sold it to another friend. We took our money to buy another raw material. Then I took my profit. So I didn't even start with my own money. I think tomorrow when, we become the global brand that we seek to become, and we tell people that we didn't start with our own money, they will doubt. But you're not me. Yes. So that's one myth.
So people should start small.
Start small, yes. Start with whatever you have.
Start with whatever.
Don't wait to get it all. In fact, you can't get it all. Start with whatever that you have.
Start with whatever you have. You can't get it all. So that's how we wrap up our conversation with you this morning. Okay. Juliana, thank you very much. Any final words in 1 minute?
Okay, I think my final words would be to say a very big thank you to my family and my friends and everyone out there who has supported us as we started our journey to make the world's largest bead sculpture. We thank you so much. We've been seeing all that you've been doing, those sharing our posts here and there. Please, thank you so much. We don't take it for granted at all.
Juliana, thank you. Thank you
You're
very much
welcome.
for coming. It's been a great interview. I think this is one of the best interviews I've had.
Oh,
'cause I've
I just
enjoyed
want to
it.
flatter me.
Oh,
but
no. Not at all. I've enjoyed the conversation.
Me too.
Yes, I believe that our listeners have also enjoyed it as much. So thank you very much for
You're
coming.
welcome. And thank you
All
for
right,
having
so
me.
that's how we wrap up today's conversation here on Business Breakfast on Z. You've got a passion. Turn it into profit. Where we've gotten today in today's fast-paced world, we have to be entrepreneurs, not necessarily look for a job. I mean, I'm not saying that looking for a job is wrong, but you need to start something for yourself. You need to start a business for yourself. And your passion could be the next big thing. So don't hold